Hello learners. In our previous video, we have discussed about what is a paragraph writing, some tips to frame a good paragraph, and also discussed some common mistakes to avoid while framing your paragraphs. And in this video, we are going to dive deeper and learn about analytical paragraph writing. So let's get started. Before we proceed about analytical paragraph writing, let's have a quick recap on what is a paragraph. So as you see, a paragraph is a group of related sentences that develop a single idea. It helps the reader understand your thoughts in a clear and organized way. Also, it's time for us to have a quick recap about types of paragraphs. We have discussed in our previous video, there are 4 types of paragraphs, namely they are descriptive paragraph which describes a person, narrative which tells a story or event, expository which explains an idea, and also argumentative which gives an opinion. Now it's time for us to move a step forward and discuss about analytical paragraph. Analytical paragraph not only tells a story, describes a person, or talks about an opinion, but it requires a lot of critical thinking as well. So now let's try to understand what is an analytical paragraph. As you can see, a paragraph that analyzes and interprets data, facts, or visual inputs like charts, graphs, tables, or cues is known as analytical paragraph. Also, it presents a clear, logical, and concise explanation or opinion. It's time for us to now know some of the key features of analytical paragraph, and they are: it is based on given data or visual input, that can be a chart, a cue, or a bar graph. Also, it focuses on interpretation and explanation. It should be objective, that means no personal opinions are to be given in that unless it is asked for. Also, it is written in a single paragraph with 120 to 150 words. Now, let's find out the structure of an analytical paragraph. Like a simple paragraph, it too follows a structure, and that is, it has an introduction where we briefly mention what the data that we are going to interpret is about. Then comes the body, where we present key trends, comparisons, or insights, and last but not least comes the conclusion part, which summarizes the key points. Since we have seen what is the structure of an analytical paragraph, it's time for us now to see a sample of analytical paragraph. This table shows details about the internet activities for 6 categories for different age groups. Write an analytical paragraph for the table given in around 150 words. The table shows how people of different age groups use the internet for various activities. Teenagers mostly play games, 81%, and spend time on downloads and news. As people grow older, their internet use changes. Adults in their 30s to 60s mostly use it to read news, research products, and shop online. The least common activity across all age groups is searching for people. Less than 30% of users do this. Downloads also drop with age, going from popular among teens to just 6% in the 70s age group. In short, young people go online for games and fun, while older people use the internet for shopping and gathering information. The way people use the internet clearly depends on their age. So learners, we have just now seen a sample analytical paragraph. Now I'll give you some tips for writing a good analytical paragraph, and they are: use linking words like such as, whereas, in contrast, similarly, etc. Also, mention significant trends like increase, decrease, highest, lowest as provided in the visual data. Also, keep your tone formal and neutral. that means you should avoid your personal opinions unless they are asked for. Also avoid copying the data word for word. You have to use your own critical thinking and write your own points. Now, I'll tell you about some common mistakes that should be avoided while writing your analytical paragraphs, and they are giving personal opinions unless they are asked for, ignoring the visual input, you cannot afford to do that. Also, using informal language that is not allowed because analytical paragraph is a formal piece of writing. And writing too long or too short is not allowed. You have to follow the word limit provided to you in the question. We have seen some common mistakes and also discussed about some tips for writing analytical paragraph. It's time for a task now. And the task is you asked people what they thought was the most valuable thing. The given pie chart shows the analytics of the different answers you received. You have to write an analytical paragraph for a research project in about 150 words. I'm sure while using those tips which were given to you in this video, and also you'll avoid the common mistakes which were discussed in the previous slide, you'll be able to frame your analytical paragraph fairly well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.